Hey guys, I just wanted to make a video showing what I've been doing lately, which is casting in different resins and plastics to make my Mega Man Volnutt figure that some of you may or may not know about. So this is my friend Corey's place, and as you can see, there's lots of hardened resin all over the table. Anyway, these are the silicone molds for what the certain pieces are. I can write it in marker. I've also got it indented in here somewhere. Yeah, you can sort of see the Buster arm indented in there. But after you cast it in the silicone, you cut it open, pull the item out, and to close up that cut, you wrap them in duct tape before you pour the resin in. So, see if I can set this up okay. You won't really get to see what I'm doing too well because I can't handle the camera and pour the messy resin at the same time. Speaking of, it is really messy, so wear gloves while pouring the resin and mixing it. I've already added a couple drops of dye to one of my cups here for the resin, and I've learned I'm doing about 5 molds right now, so I've learned about 4 to 5 drams seems to be enough. I think I'm going to finish off this bottle and break open a new one. And I'm using, right now it's called Smoothcast 321 from Smooth On. I bought it from the engineering guy. Really great service, really great shipping time. I even had one of their ladies email me after I purchased something being like, okay, I just want to make sure that this is what you need, oops, and not something else. She was double checking I was ordering the right stuff, sent a personal email, so I thought that was really great. And because I'm new at this, and so I don't know if any of you veterans at molding and casting and whatever are seeing I'm doing something unusual, because I am new at this. This is a first time endeavor for me. I've been working on the project for about from molding or from sculpting time to now, probably almost a month. And wanted to say again thank you to the people that did pre-order the Volnutt figure. It's coming out great. I've got my joints coming in from Japan. Those things are really hard to find in the US. That ended up being one of the more difficult things, is tracking down the Revoltech joints. There will be shops, like Hobby Link Japan shows that they have them, but they really don't. And so that's one of the more difficult things, is finding those joints and getting them shipped over here. So you gotta mix up the dye really good, because otherwise you're gonna have streaks of darker blue versus the lighter blue in your mold. You get all that resin out. You probably can't see a thing. I'm pouring it into a cup over here that has loads of resin, hardened resin at the bottom. I'm pouring part B, the equal amount of part A, in here. Also, can't make this video too long because YouTube won't let me post videos longer than however, I don't know what the time limit is, but, and I don't want to bore you guys. So yeah, stirring that up, part A and part B, with a little bit of that dye. Again, I'm stirring it as thoroughly as possible so I don't have those dark blue streaks in there. And for the dye, I just put a couple tiny dabs. You really, just a tiny bit goes a long way. And this is the size of the bottle. And my friend Corey's got one that he bought like 3 years ago, and I don't think it's even halfway down yet. So it goes really far. And that again is also Smooth On to go with the Smooth On resin, Smooth On dye. All right, stir, stir, stir. And this stuff I believe it says it has a 10-minute pot life, but I found it's more of a 5 to 7 minute pot life, which is still not bad. You still gotta move fast. So once I pour that resin in there, I'm squeezing the mold gently to get little air bubbles out. kind of help it out. I'm gonna put it in a pressure pot and use an air compressor to get some of those bubbles out. But I'm doing a little bit of the work for it, just in case there's some of those bigger bubbles that are stuck. You can't rely on the pressure pot to do all of it. That, and if you don't squeeze it, that resin's just gonna sit in that little divot and not sink down and not fill up, so you can't pour more resin into it. So yeah, gotta fill all, let's see, 5 of these up. I might do less because I'm talking so much. I don't want this resin to get syrupy on me. And right now I'm casting all things that are blue at one time. Right now, squeezing the underwear piece. Yeah, I've got all the different items for Volnutt bagged up in different colors of what they need to be casted in. So I've got a Ziploc bag with just blue items. I've got a Ziploc bag with just skin tone items, just brown items. You know, so I can throw all those same color things in the pot all at once and be more efficient, get more knocked out at once. Alright, I'm trying all 5. Corey, my friend who's let me work with this stuff and teaching me, work with his pressure pot and teaching me the resins and all that stuff. Him and his mom are out grocery shopping, so if they pull up while I'm making a video, I'm going to be awfully embarrassed. Poor, poor, poor. My main goal right now is to cast, you know, over enough pieces to do about 30 figures. Even though the pre-orders were just 20, I'm gonna keep making them from here on, and I'll probably do 50 at most, maybe 60, and then I'll put them back up in the store, and that'll be that, and I'll move on to the next figure. But my main goal right now is to just cast a bunch of solid pieces, and then I can go home at night and, you know, sand up any imperfections, clean them up. Alright, getting a little syrupy here, dropping these into the pot, clean them up, and then paint them from home, so I'm not over at Corey's all the time. So I do all my casting over here at Corey's because I don't have all the equipment right now, and then I go home and do the painting, which I really enjoy. I didn't expect to, you know, I was worried about painting the eyes and all these little details and stuff and just not doing it very well, but it's not as bad as I thought. So that's definitely good. Dropping all these in the pot. And this blue is so dark I can almost see straight through the silicone to see if, like, these are the calf pieces, to see if it's filled up all the way, which is awesome. Especially if your molds are thin, you can see right through it. Yeah, it's getting pretty syrupy. Before this, I was working with a really cheap resin from Hobby Lobby, and the pot life was like 1 minute. And so I was always getting air bubbles because it would harden up so quick that there wasn't a chance for those bubbles to escape. Whether me squeezing it or the pressure pot squeezing them out. So I'm tightening these down. I'm sure you can't see it. I'm tightening down the pressure pot lid. And I'll show you here in a sec once I get that going. It's gonna get loud too, so I'll probably step out once. Alright, so I got the lid on, I got my molds in there. I'm letting it get up to, this pot can only go to about 80 psi, and if you go much over that, it can explode and kill you and everyone around you. So gotta be really careful with these things. But this lever right here, closed, open. It's something that me and Corey have been experimenting with. Corey's idea here was close it up, let that air compressor really build up the air so there's a lot of pressure, and kind of shock it a little, so you can really maybe help burst those bubbles out of the, or those air bubbles out of the molds. I don't know if you can hear very well.